Actress Nico Parker, who is the daughter of Tandy Newton and is playing a race swapped version of Astrid for the live action How to Train Your Dragon movie, recently said that the live action film is going to be its own film and its own interpretation, basically killing the film in its infancy. Before we get into this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com. And Nico Parker spoke with Collider about the upcoming live action film, where she first posited there was no reason for her to not take on the role of Astrid. She said, "I'm constantly nervous about it, but to me, there was no reason to not do it. It's being made with such brilliant people, and everyone's so talented, and everyone cares about it so deeply." After I spoke to Dean DeBlois, the director who also made the animated movies, I was just like, how could anyone not want to be involved in it? It's amazing. It's stressful, but I'm very, very excited for it to be finished and out into the world, and everyone can experience it. So I think there's a pretty big reason why she shouldn't have taken the role. The fact that she does not look like Astrid. In case you want to know what Astrid looks like, is her biography from the How to Train Your Dragon website. She's 5'9", has blue eyes, blonde hair. She wields an axe, and she's from Burke. Clearly, is pale or white skin. Nico Parker, which you can see here, is not pale or white. She does not have blonde hair, and she does not have blue eyes. So she doesn't look anything like the character. And that is a reason for her not to play the character. And we have precedent for actors dropping out of roles where they were miscast and they shouldn't have been cast in the first place. Ed Skrein was originally cast as Major Ben Demio in the Hellboy reboot, but dropped out of the project. This is what he said in 2017. He said, "It's clear that representing this character in a culturally accurate way holds significance for people, and that to neglect this responsibility would continue a worrying tendency to obscure ethnic minority stories and voice in the arts. I feel it is important to honor and respect that." It's not hard for Nico Parker to make a similar statement, indicating that she does not look like anything like Astrid, and she wants to respect the vision of that original character. Lionsgate also said this. They were the ones who produced the Hellboy reboot, so they concurred with Scrime. They said, "It was not our intent to be insensitive to issues of authenticity and ethnicity, and we will look to recast the part with an actor more consistent with the character in the source material." Again, not hard for a production company to make that statement. I doubt we will see that for Nico Parker and her role of Astrid. In fact, they're probably going to double down on it, and they'll probably use her to call people racists. And when the film bombs, they will call people who didn't go see it racists, because that's what these people do in Hollywood. And it's likely that the film is indeed going to be a box office bomb. Not only is Astrid race swap, but Nico Parker admitted that they seemingly are just going to be doing their own story and not actually doing an adaptation. She says, "I think it's very much its own thing, but I like to think so much of that magic is also prevalent in this one. But I think it's its own film and it's its own interpretation, and everyone has their own version of a character. It's important not to get too wrapped up, especially because the animated ones are so brilliant. It's like, let's not try and just do a play-by-play of that. And if anyone wants that, they can watch the animated ones." Well, why are you even doing an adaptation anyway if people don't want that? Well, the fact is, people do want that. If you're doing a live action adaptation, it's because people want to see what was animated turned into live action. That's what they want to see. So you're lying to yourself. You're lying to the people you're talking to when you're saying this. If they would not be making this movie if people didn't want to see the animated movie be adapted into live action. Who is she trying to fool here? Probably herself. She would conclude saying, "I think it'll be wonderful, and if it isn't, I'm having a wonderful time making it anyway. I'll think it's wonderful no matter what." Well, that's just absolutely bizarre. You can have a wonderful time making something, and the end product can still be absolutely garbage. We have a whole thing for that. It's called it's called "Good Intentions Lead to Bad Outcomes." I mean, what? Utterly ridiculous, bizarre way of thinking about things. You can work hard, put in all the work, you can enjoy what you're doing, but at the end of the day, if you're working hard at building a sandcastle and you happen to build the sandcastle right where the waves are crashing in and it destroys your sandcastle, it sucks. Your sandcastle sucks because it was destroyed. Yeah, you worked hard, but you don't even have anything to show for it because it was destroyed by the waves. I mean, this absolutely bizarre way of thinking about it. And this leads me to think that this movie is going to be dead on arrival. How many times have we seen shows, movies, race swap characters, and then they basically ditch the source material and it bombs? I mean, one after another. Witcher, Cowboy Bebop, Ghostbusters, Charlie's Angels. I mean, the list goes Terminator. The list goes on and on and on. And it looks like we can add How to Train Your Dragon to that ongoing list. Those are my thoughts on the matter. Let me know what you guys think. Remember to always be charitable, but to always speak the truth.